What's up? This is Jordan Gray from Half Lit and DopelivenTV.
Hey, this your boy Don Ritchie representing the Midwest 219 Stand Up.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Lamar Tate.
This is your girl, Monifa.
Hey, what up? It's your man Dave Hollister from Blackstreet.
You know what this is right here. This Trigger Tretch in the building.
Hey, what's up, y'all? This is your boy Jason Weaver. And whenever I'm back home in the Chi, I'm checking out Dope Living TV.
Hey, it's your girl, Adina Howard, and you're watching Dope Living TV, live with Greg Gray and the crew.
Wow, you know what? I don't know how it ended like that, okay? But whatever. What's up? It's your boy, Greg Gray. This is Dope Living TV Live. We start off by saying the views that are expressed on this Dope Living TV Live are not necessarily the views of Dope Living TV or its affiliates. All right. So, y'all know that we have gone through over 1,000 shows, all right? Yeah, shout out to Dope Living for staying true to the game, making sure that we are consistent. We talk about consistency all the time, all right? And that's what we are. And throughout that time, we've met a lot of people. We've met some old school recording artists. We've met entrepreneurs, people that are just doing their thing, living their dream. We've met actors, actresses, directors. We've met everybody. And, you know, we like to share the journey, like to share what everybody's going through. So tonight, we got family coming back through, man. Since, there go family right there. What's up, Seth?
Yeah. Bring it on. Bring them on. We're going to hear about the dead people tonight.
So here we go. Look, we, again, we've had a lot of people come on this show during 1,000 shows. And so some people have done so much. You know, we've had a bunch of authors, thanks to Gina. We've had, again, actors, actresses, everybody. We've covered the spectrum. This gentleman tonight, man, he was on during the beginnings. I'd say we was at, 200, 300 shows by then when he came on. We got with him, right? So imagine how long ago that was. This guy, and I'm going to let him tell it. Because we were talking about him yesterday, Gina, and you guys asked the question, did he get his license? Did he do this? Did he do that? But this is family, okay? And we told him, we said, hey, whenever you want to come back through, fall through. And he did, okay? He reached out to me. I said, of course, okay? Everybody say what's up to my guy, Mr. Wade Simmons. What's going on, bruh?
Hey, welcome back.
Hey, Gina, how you been?
Good.
That's good
There
to
he
see
is,
you.
y'all.
I was literally thinking about y'all, like real talk. So like that's why I reached out, because like whenever I think about somebody, I reach out to them.
Awesome. Well, we're glad you're thinking about us.
For sure, man. It's like, and Gina, if I can think about it, I think he's been on more than anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been on here more than anybody.
We gotta keep that going then.
We gotta keep it going. We definitely gotta keep it going.
Always ready. But you know what? We love to hear the updates. You know, people leave the show and they getting started with businesses or different dreams that they're following, and we want to know what's going on. Have you reached your plateau? Have you moved in another direction? So you keep us updated on what you're doing.
Yeah. So actually,
hey, wait.
It's been a while. How you been?
No more. It's been a minute, man.
Yeah, I've been doing.
I heard you making some moves.
Yep, I'm actually in the process of relocating to California.
Okay.
That's kind of been in my mind for a while, but it's not. A lot of people think it's because of film, but it's actually not. Actually, I've been in the process of becoming a licensed funeral director in the state of California. I just feel like I'm being led to go there. So I just try to follow however the Holy Spirit lead me. Like I'm like, you know, of course I'm from Illinois, Chicago is home, but you know, sometimes you have to recognize the way God is shifting you. But I've been pretty good. I've been just, you know, prepping to make the change. I actually went down to California to take my funeral director test there. So I'm gonna try to get the embalming license there too. Cause see, it's funny because every state has a different requirement. You know, like I have still my intern license here in Illinois, but I'm just like, you know, at this point, I'm out.
You ready to do it? Okay. So we go ahead, Mom.
No, I'm just gonna ask him a question. You know, hey, you gonna do like I was telling you yesterday, Gina, when we at the end of the show, we say when Wade was coming on, say we're gonna have a store, we're gonna have a funeral home. We're gonna have what is? We're gonna have some the house.
You said the pharmacy.
One bell. Huh?
You said the pharmacy.
Yeah, the pharmacy. All that's gonna be in one big row. So, so they got their drugs. They got some place to stay, and then when it's time to go, let's get it.
Don't say it like that. He said they got the drugs. Okay, don't say it like that, man. He ain't no runner.
Right?
He ain't no runner. But you know what, Wade? Let's go all the way back, man, because when we met you, man, you were a filmmaker, you know, and you kind of, I mean, you did a couple of films, but then you kind of ventured off from that into wrestling.
Yeah, well, you know what, to be honest with you, everything that I'm doing, I never really stopped. I just kind of, you know, focused,
shifted.
You know, did a little here and there, a little bit there. And so like really I've been still producing films. I'm actually in the process of making a documentary about training for professional wrestling. So we've been working on shooting that because I've been working on that for like 5 years. So I just now like started back like filming the rest of that. So I got a few more people to interview, but that's actually been going great. But like I've been moving more in the direction of like making documentaries. I feel like documentaries are a lot more interesting than working on like narrative films because like a couple of months ago, I had this idea to make this new web series, and I started working with a new actress, and it was kind of honestly, it was kind of disastrous. and so it's like, I don't know. I feel like every time I move away from what I'm supposed to do, something kind of pulled me back in the right direction. So you know, that's no hard feelings toward anybody, but it's like I just stick to what I'm supposed to stick to. You know,
ain't nothing wrong with walking in your purpose, bro. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
That's right.
You got to always.
That's what you're supposed to do. But you incorporate. You incorporate.
Yeah, because it's like I don't know. Like I feel like when you do things that you're supposed to do, like I'm not saying everything goes smoothly, but you know. But if something is not fitting, you don't force it. You know. And so that's why, like, because like last year I was in the process of debating like whether or not I wanted to move, you know, to Missouri because I was going back and forth between Illinois and Missouri for family purposes, and I was gonna get my funeral director license there, but then stuff was kind of like, and then I'm like, you know what? Maybe I should just follow my mind and go to California, and then everything just kind of started working out for me to go there. So I just been working towards that.
Well, think about it. I mean, getting your chops with your movies and all that other stuff, that might lead to something else in the movies. You never know.
You know,
we were talking, Wade, about, you know, since you're a mortician, we were talking about horror movies and scary movies and stuff like that. But go ahead. What was you gonna say?
Yeah, but you know what? Yeah, it's like, and that's what I'm saying. Like sometimes, like being back home in Illinois, right? Like in Chicago, like Chicago is known pretty much for like being an artistic city too. But to be honest with you, as far as film, if you're not doing like self-production and stuff like that, the work is not as big as it would be like in New York or Georgia, like in Atlanta or like in California. Yeah. So it's like, you know, if you want to be a fisherman, you got to go near the water sometimes. That's just the way that it works. So it's like I kind of was more focused on being more like independent, but like, you know, I'm kind of more in the process of like wanting to just collaborate a little more and just like, you know, if you want to make a little more money doing what you do, you kind of got to go where the industry is, you know. Yeah.
Hey man, don't take this the wrong way, man. But with your hair braided, because we never seen you like this before. With your hair braided, you look like ODB, man.
No, but you know what? You know what's funny though? Like when I was younger, I always kept hair on my head. So I just kind of, during the pandemic, I kind of went back to the look because I ain't really go to the barber shop, so I had to do something with it.
Yeah. Oh, baby, I like it raw, but still,
stop it.
no, that's cool, man. But you know what? It's good to reinvent. Like Mo was saying, it's no problem. Nobody should have anything to say about you changing directions of what you want to do. Okay, as long as we look, even at the age that I am, okay, I can still change directions as long as we're able-bodied, as long as we got that mindset, as long as we believe in what God has purpose for us. We are always going to be able to shift and change. All right, so congratulations to you, man. But I want to know though, when you, I mean, like I said, you were doing this film, all right? You were doing films and everything was going great with the films. And then you turned and pivoted to wrestling. How did that work? I mean, you went from one extreme to another extreme, okay? You went from being behind the camera to getting your ass thrown around in a ring. Okay?
Well, you know how that really happened was actually, I wrestled in high school. And I always really kind of wanted to get back into it. But when I went to college, I'm like, I went to school to be a mortician. Then I went to film school. And it's like the colleges I went to, they didn't have a wrestling team. And so me actually getting into pro wrestling came from me actually being a filmmaker because I wanted to make a documentary. And I ended up connecting with Boz. And then he knew that I wrestled in high school. And instead of him allowing me to do the documentary, he actually started training me.
Okay.
So like my trainer, he actually used to wrestle back in WWE when it was WWF back then. But he's been around a long time. But it's like, look, I'm one of them people that like, hey, long as it's legit and it's cool,
Yeah.
I give stuff a shot.
Oh yeah, yeah. You're supposed to, man. You're supposed to go ahead and test the limitations, take them opportunities. All right. So you're still doing the wrestling, right?
Yeah, I'm still affiliated. I'm not doing it full time, but I'm still affiliated. Yeah.
And you're still doing, like you said, film. You get ready to do some more film work too, right? Now you ventured into, and you took a real hard pivot into mortuary science. What made you want to do that?
Yeah.
Because let me abridge that by saying, okay, as dead people, all right, and me, it's bad enough that I have to. I don't even really go to funerals like that. And if I go to a funeral, I'm in the back. Okay, I'm not going up to. I don't want to view the body no more. It's gone. I mean, but what made you want to do that?
I've been wanting to do that ever since I was a little child. I went to a lot of funerals as a child, and growing up in church, and I'm like, this is something I can do. And then, I don't share this with everybody, but I remember like we went to like Kansas City for like a church convention, and I almost drowned. And I had like I don't want to say like it was an out of body experience, but it was a weird experience to where like I remember as a child saying like I saw angels and things of that nature. But after that, it just kind of made me a little more curious, and I'm like, I think that's what I want to do. So like when I got in high school, my teacher, Miss Anderson, she called one of the morticians in Chicago, and he said, hey, tell them to show up in the gold tie, white shirt, black suit. And I just started working for them right in high school, and then I just I just stayed with it. And then I ended up working at that funeral home for 13 years. And then once I left, my license came after I left, and then I started doing my own mortuary transportation company. So that's been really something because like it's something because it's a little different because like I used to be at the funeral home full time. But then once I started doing the removal side of the business, I kind of work as I'm called, like a couple of weeks ago, I had to pick up a 13-year-old girl that committed suicide. That was pretty rough. Yeah. That was
I mean, wow. I mean, I can't fathom seeing, when we see them in suits and dresses, laid out, made up, no marks on their skin. They look sleep, some of them look like they used to, some of them don't, okay? But you see them raw
form.
You see them raw. I mean, how do you I want to say how do you stomach that, but
yeah, because most people are not. That's not a career that most people, majority people choose.
Yeah, that's definitely different.
I think honestly, a lot of more people are getting into it now because they feel like, oh, it's a lot of money in it. But I would tell anybody this: if their heart is not in it, I wouldn't recommend it because sometimes you end up giving more than you take, you know, and especially in our community. So like I think that like a person to like want to be a mortician, it's a very good honest living, but it kind of has to be in your heart to do it.
Ooh, yeah, yeah.
Is it?
You're gonna see dead people.
Is it lucrative?
It can be.
What's the detractor?
Well, depending if you own, if you don't own, depending on if you like full time or who you work for, like, cause some funeral home gets more business than others, you know. Some people have a good reputation with like a big clientele, and then some people just, you know, want to have a small bit. But look, I know some funeral directors that, you know, they've been in the business a long time. They're not necessarily trying to get a whole lot of cases. They just serve who comes to them, you know.
Okay.
And then there are some businesses that are a little more commercialized. You know, it's just kind of up to the way the business sets itself up, you know.
So I got a question. You know, in Atlanta they do these themed funerals, you know, where they carry the casket and they sing, and you know, they have a whole show behind it. Do y'all do stuff like that too?
Normally up this way we don't. Some people kind of have introduced kind of some other cultures and styles into the business, but normally I don't see too many people up here doing like anything overly extravagant, you know. But people are getting more like personalized, like you know, families are getting more creative. But I mean, when you work for the family, you let them do whatever, you know, however they want to honor their loved ones. You just go with it.
I see a lot of people doing the horse and buggy, you know, with the casket.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. You got horse and buggies. You got carriers that actually carry the casket to the, you know, to inter it. They carry it from, you know, the vehicle to the whole.
But let's go even deeper. Let's go even deeper mode with the ghetto funerals where they got them sitting up there like this, a cigarette in their hand and just chilling.
No.
I haven't seen that.
No. I mean, look,
I can pull it up right now.
You don't have to answer this question. You don't have. So, have you seen the ghetto funeral?
I want to get in no trouble.
All right,
don't answer. Don't answer.
Well, let me ask you, Wade. Have you had come across any instances where you say, you know what, I cannot do this?
Well, you know what? I'm gonna be honest. And to be honest, sometimes working in the funeral business, it can be tough because I think the most toughest thing sometimes is when you deal with the families who not getting along. That can be the worst because it's like, you know, you're there to provide the family with a service, and you can't, you know, it's not your job to solve their personal issues. Your job is just to make sure that you celebrate their loved one's life in an appropriate fashion. But sometimes emotions get in the way, and it's just you sometimes you have to shut services down and people get to fighting. And I've seen some people fighting over some chicken at the repast before.
Oh my gosh!
When that loved one is gone, and you know that there's,
I think that was a ghetto funeral.
You as a mortician, you know that there's family strife, and they going at each other, and they coming at you, man. You pose the body when you put them in the casket, right?
Well, no, we'll put it like this: whoever is in charge, you just go with whatever they say, because that's the person that set everything up, and legally you have to honor that contract. So because that's the thing. Like for instance, right? Like when you're passing out programs like the obituaries, right? A lot of times, you know, some families will say, "Don't pass them out until I get here." But then you got maybe like first cousin or whatever come and say, "Well, can I get one?" And then you say, "Well, I gotta wait till the family." Well, I am family, you know. You got to deal with. And then you got to worry about too. Sometimes when families are fighting, maybe sometimes this family got their own set of obituaries. Just I done seen all kinds of stuff like this.
Oh my god, man! Wait.
You telling us about all the ghetto funerals?
Mo, I have
the ghetto file. There you go. If I was a
mortician, and the family's arguing over my last rites, I'll be posing them like this.
Well, look,
Both sides.
Everybody has their own, everybody has their own wishes. You just try to give the family the best, celebration that they can have. But again, sometimes family drama gets into, because like I said, I've seen stuff where you got to go in and shut the service down.
The ghetto files.
People bringing in weapons and all kind of stuff,
Booty shakers and everything.
I went to one where these guys had weapons and some people were outside waiting on them. And I'm like, well, what am I supposed to do? I ain't a part of this, all right? Mm-hmm. But let's talk a little bit about that process too. So when you get the bodies, as Gina and I said, you get them raw, okay? They just got shot, they just fell off a roof or whatever, get a car accident, whatever, all right? How do you prepare a body that's really been messed up?
Well, so first, it depends on how bad the trauma is. If it's too much of a trauma, you might have to have a closed casket. But if it's fixable, they do teach you in school how to rebuild eyelids, ears, noses. They teach you how to pretty much reconstruct the face. Some, put it like this, some funeral directors are more skilled at it than others, because that's called restorative arts. So some people are really gifted at it. Some people are better than others at it, but you have to be really skilled for that part.
Well, and to that point, so you guys have to. Do they train you guys? Because I'm getting scared here. Do they train you guys to take yourselves out of the present situation when you see the disfigurement or whatever, the rigor mortis, the decaying?
I honestly think that's something that you have to do for yourself. It's like they don't train you that. Like, they think that if you signed up to become a funeral director, it's like what you're getting into. And so, like, for myself, I've been in the business now. Next year, God willing, to be 16 years.
Oh wow!
So I've been around it for quite a while, and so you're
immune to that.
Get used to it. But your thing is to try to provide the family with the best memory as possible, but to be honest with you, the business has really been changing a lot, because like the cremation rate is going up, not that that's a bad thing. It's just all industries are changing, and so a lot of more people are not like some people are like, look, because I got family members that said, look, you know what, when I go, I don't want all this service and stuff, just burn. My Uncle P said, burn me up now.
That's what I said.
He said, just burn me up.
Just burn me up and spread my ass in the backyard,
Well, I got a question, because this is a time where people are distraught. I'm not talking from experience, where you're trying to make these huge decisions, and you distraught. You're just not. Your mind is not thinking away. How do you guys support families as they go through this?
Yeah, so
good question.
So for me, I always say that everything in the funeral business is situational. Every family is different. So, to be honest with you, I always say just, don't rush them into anything. Kind of just guide them through the process, but let them pick what they want, I wouldn't try to tell people, you should get this and get that. No, I always say let families decide what they want, because it's their loved one. And it's their right to celebrate their loved one's life how they want to. Because, again, some people have, because, for instance, like last year, my great-grandmother passed away. And I remember when we went in the casket room, and, I was kind of trying to kind of help my grandmother and them be pointed in the right direction, because the funeral director, the other funeral director, he was in the office. He was making arrangements with my family. And I was in the casket room with them, and they were looking at my grandmother was asking me what I think, whatever. And I'm like, look, whatever, it's really whatever y'all want to do. And I was just saying, it is a way that you can, maybe take a different route to get it a little cheaper. And my auntie Gwen said, my mama wasn't cheap. I said, let me stay out of it. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta understand that, you gotta let, I live peaceably with everybody. I let people make whatever you want to do. I got you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you, man, Gina, Mo, y'all hearing me, and I'm gonna tell Jordan too. If I die, I won't wait to do it, okay? Because, and then I'm, before I close the casket, I'm gonna get back up. I'm gonna say thank you, man. He smiles all the time. All right. I need a happy mortician, man. He smiles all the time. That's comfort right there, man.
You're not gonna see him smiling, dude.
I'm gonna get back up. I told you, I'm gonna get back up.
But
right,
you know what?
I'm like, hold on. Thank you, man. Okay, all right, close it up.
But you know, I know a few morticians that are some pistols too, though. Like, look, like everybody, everybody don't have that type of like you would think, but everybody don't have that demeanor.
But you can, and you can talk about it too, man. That's the best part about it, right? Because we don't. This again, it went into this spectrum here, okay? But we love it when we're able to learn new things, and the person that's telling us knows what they're talking about. You know this,
right?
Way, okay? So, damn, dude. I mean, so you're going to California, and you're going to own your own, then, right?
Well, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna freelance. I'm gonna test the waters and see however God works it out. Because I do have some relatives here back home that's starting their own funeral business. So it's looking like I'm gonna be doing one of them things where I kind of come back and forth. That's kind of what I'm working on setting up now. So we'll see what happens. You know, I'm always flexible. Like I'm not I'm one of them people that like I'm always figure out a way to win by the grace of God. So whatever works.
I got it.
Long as it's legit, whatever works.
Right.
That's
as long as I ain't got to have no handcuffs on me and they got to explain nothing.
You got that right.
Hey, Julianne, what's going on, Julianne's a friend of mine. Okay, she said there are so many jobs that people do that no one really thinks about. The job Wade does takes a special kind of person. Much respect to you. Absolutely. Again, unconventional jobs that, again, and I'll say it like we always say it, Mo, you in high school, your guidance counselor, if they still have those, okay, but your guidance counselor says, well, hey, Jimmy, you could be a doctor, you could be a lawyer, you could be a fireman, a policeman, all right? But then they ask them, well, what do you want to be? That's not the word that comes out of their mouth, a mortician, okay? I want to be a basketball player. I want to be a rapper. I want to be this and that, okay? But that's interesting that you chose this career, right? And that you're excelling at it because, again, it's unconventional and a lot of people are not going to pick that. Matter of fact, I damn sure wouldn't pick it, okay? Because look, Mo, come on, dude. I didn't like the Frankenstein movies.
You know what's interesting?
I'm with you on that one. I mean, I think about what you're doing, and I basically followed the same.
Love you, Julie, by the way.
When except I did mine in electronics. Yours, I mean, you got the basically the way you're supposed to do it as an apprenticeship, and they showed you the ins and outs, and you got a chance right there at the beginning to check out and say, hey, this ain't for me. But as time went on, you're doing what you do, and hey, you're doing exactly what you want to do now. If you're gonna make a move like from where you at to California, that's a heck of a move. That means that you believe everything that you can do and you can do it. So I think what you need to do is make sure you keep that network alive. No matter where you go.
Oh, we definitely. I mean, again, you know how we are. We found your family here. Everybody that comes on the show is family. Everybody that watches their family, right? So you ever need us, let us know what we need to promote for you, and we're gonna promote it. Okay, even if we got to beat up Steve and lay him down and do a commercial with him laying down and then wake him back up. We got you, man. We're gonna make it happen. All right, for real. Yeah. So, has there been any detractors, any obstacles in your way as you get to your career?
Yeah, well, I've had a few because, like I said, last year I was doing a lot of traveling. Like me moving to California is not new. This had been something that, I feel like, God had put on my heart a while back, but I was just kind of, gradually getting things set up. But my grandfather, actually, he was 86 years old. He was still working. And let me see, back in, I think October, he ended up kind of having a few episodes. So they ended up having to take his keys from him, and he ended up just sitting in the house. And then next thing, I got a call going into November, he's in the hospital because he had stopped eating. And then he ended up going in the hospital. Then they put him in the nursing home. Then by January 2nd, he ended up passing away. But prior to that, my pastor died back in December. So I had to, go remove my pastor. then it's like it's crazy because right after that, one of my other members from the church passed. Then the member from the church I was born at passed. Then my grandfather passed. So it was like death after death after death. So it was kind of more like I was kind of tied up with that a lot, and it ended up be like I said, I was down in Missouri just kind of trying to get some things together, and I ended up coming back here to help out with my grandfather. And then he ended up passing away. So that kind of changed the dynamic of some things too,
Yeah, I know death in the family, especially, man, can alter and change up everything. Your whole journey, man, it can change it up. Okay, but you stay steady, stay steadfast, and you continued on that path. What do you like doing more? What you're doing there, the filmmaking or the wrestling?
Well, I'm gonna be honest. I love being a filmmaker, but I do believe that God placed me in the funeral business, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because every time I tried to think about getting out of it, something would happen, and somebody would ask me and remind me of the reason why I chose to do it. Because sometimes you do go to a point in life, you be like, man, you know what? I need a break from this, but then something happens, and then you end up having to be there for somebody. And I think that one of the things about being a funeral director versus being a filmmaker is that being a funeral director keeps you more grounded. I think it keeps you more mindful that tomorrow's not promised to anybody.
That's right.
Don't get me wrong, like, being a filmmaker is fun and being creative, but I think that it's something about, when you are around death, that it kind of really gets you to really reflect on life, And so I believe that God has really, placed me there to be a help to other people and to, just realize that, you got it. Sometimes you may have to be in place to be a blessing to other people, because sometimes families may not always have the proper means to bury their loved one and things of that nature, And so like I said, I love being creative and being a filmmaker, but I see that, I think I really draw more strength from working in the funeral business.
You know what they say? If you want to make God laugh, make a plan.
Yeah.
So as you were going
what
through
does
this,
happen if you have a family who don't have the means to pay for a funeral?
Well, I worked for one of the, put it like this, the funeral director in Chicago that I work for. He's a very generous person, good-hearted. He's 88 years old now. And his dad taught him well, and so he's teaching his children, and he's working with his sons. And one thing that I learned from him is that you got to help people, and if a person don't have it, you can make it work. And so, like, I know plenty of funeral directors, especially in our community, who help people because they realize that all families don't. Because to be honest with you, especially in our community with a lot of violence, drug usage, alcohol usage, a lot of car accidents. Sometimes people don't have insurance. Sometimes people don't have the money, because to be honest, like, we think like, great grandma, she turns 95 and it's, don't get me wrong, we all got to go someday, but it's like when a person is full of life, you can expect that. But a lot of times when it's somebody just really young and it's unexpected like that, and sometimes people just don't really have insurance sometimes, So
just go ahead on and make it as smoothly as possible for them. Be nice and make, because you're right. Everybody doesn't have that capability to get it done. So that's great that the guy that you work for does that. Go ahead, Mom.
No, we had some sisters that was on this show. I'm probably say about 6 months ago. They did a whole week of just this about getting insurance. To, getting insurance, burial insurance, up to 7 people in your family for $85 a month.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
7 people. That was Martha and
Martha
Atria.
And the thing about it, you have to pay the $85 a month, but the person who initialized it, once they pass, you got to know who to pass that on to so it continues. And that place opens up, so you put another person in there. So you can keep burying folk forever, as long as you got that premium paid.
Yeah. And it's very important. That's why I made sure that I, started getting my affairs together, because, God is good. Life happens.
You never know.
It's just good to make sure you're covered. But again, in our community, sometimes we We not, and let's be real. Like a lot of times, our communities things are a little different, and sometimes people may not always be able to afford certain things, and so that's understandable too. So we need people in our community that can make a difference, you know, and and especially because you think about it, like even with being a filmmaker, right? Like that's why, like as an artist, I'm always mindful. Like, look, if I'm gonna create anything, I'm gonna create things that, you know, encourage my brothers and sisters to love one another and things of that nature. Because I don't want to be promoting things that's, you know, hurting my brothers and sisters. You know, a lot of time people end up, you know, young people end up losing their life due to gun violence or any type of violence. Sometimes because of certain influences and things of that nature. So, you know, I ain't knocking nobody else, but it's just I think about things like that. You know.
Yeah, that's great that you do that, man. It's a service that people do need. Let me ask you something. I'm going to go back a little bit. As you decided to do the mortuary class, did you think it was a difficult road to travel, or did you just? I mean, I know that you thought about it. But
no, that school was really hard.
That
school was very hard. That was like, I mean, I know people that went to school like this to be like, you know, even doctors and stuff like that. And they said, and I know people that went to law school that are funeral directors, and they said that school was harder than law school to them because it's like when you go to school to be a funeral director, they're making you take like psychology, which, you know, that's not too bad. You taking religion, that's not too bad. But then you taking like a lot of anatomy, you're taking a lot of chemistry, you're taking, then on top of that, you're taking a lot of history, and you're taking a lot of because like basically when you go to school to be a funeral director, you're pretty much learning a little bit of how to be a lawyer, how to be a counselor, how to be a minister, how to be a public speaker, how to be a marketer, how to be an entrepreneur, how to be a business management. So it's a whole lot of moving parts in that business that you have to learn. And so it's like when you go to school to be a funeral director, you went because it's so many different aspects in that industry alone, you know. So it's a lot. It's really a lot.
Is it what was the question I was going to ask you, man? Doggone it.
Sometimes I kick it in.
Just bury me, man. Just bury me.
Sometimes I remember, sometimes I don't.
Well, you know what?
Was it a 4-year course?
No. So it was mainly a lot of the courses are like some of the courses are like 2 years.
Oh my God.
What they do have some that are 4 years. I know a lot of funeral directors, they get mad at like, you don't need 4 years for this, but it's not a very easy course. I can tell you that now. It's not easy at all.
You take the full course because I keep thinking, you know, you have a steady stream of business all the time. And it seems like you would learn a lot in a short amount of space, especially by you coming up like like an apprentice, you know, and learning a whole lot of stuff before you even actually seen it in class or confirmed it in class. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure that helped you out a lot that you had that.
It did, but you know what? But it's still sometimes it's like, even with going to school though, sometimes academics and book knowledge sometimes is a whole lot different than application, because we know that a lot of times in school, some of the things they teach you never utilize.
That's right.
And then some of the things they don't teach you are some of the things that you do utilize. So it's a very interesting thing, because like when you work with different funeral directors, everybody has a very different skill, because even like being an embalmer, right? Some embalmers like different types of fluids. Some people like frigid, some people like champion. You know, some people use Dodge chemicals. Some people use Arlington. I'm more affiliated with that company, but it's just one of those things where like people use what they like and people use what works, because even when you're embalming somebody, right, like you have to know how the person passed. You have to look at the body and make sure that it's like, you know, maybe it's too much water in the body or not enough water. You know, it's chemistry, so you have to know all these things.
Wow, that's real interesting. I thought once that happened, you know, if the body was able, because I saw, and I'm not naming any names, but I saw what if the body was decapitated. You got the body, you got the head. Do you put that back together?
You would have to embalm the body and the head separately, and then it's like a rod. You could put the head on the rod, and then you.
Oh Jesus!
Yeah, I don't want to get too graphical, but yeah, it's a way you can do it. I'll tell you a little more about that.
Buddy. You're getting it.
Yeah.
And you drinking juice.
You see, drinking juice.
Okay. All right. So we're talking everybody with our friend, our family, Mr. Wade Simmons. And when he first came to the show, he was he brought us film himself as a filmmaker. Came on again. He was still doing films, but he was doing wrestling. And now we've had the conversation about him as a mortician, as a profession. I'm sorry I asked that last question because I'm a little queasy now, But
I mean, you take a special person.
Yeah,
I bet you think he is.
I'm over here hugging myself, Mo.
Well, look. You said, my body did like that.
No.
Yeah, well, you have to be able to stomach things, and you have to, like I said, it's about providing the family with the best memories, and so you do the best that you can. And if sometimes there's not much you can do.
Yeah.
Sometimes, by the grace of God, you're able to make some things work. It just everything is situational.
And I consider myself to be a man's man. I'm that dude, okay? But dude, I can't even. You stick a rod to connect them.
Worst thing I've ever seen was somebody after they got shot with like a 357 Magnum.
In the head or
in the torso, and it was unbelievable. In the torso. I mean, that was the worst I saw, and I'm pretty sure Wade done saw stuff 99,000 times worse than that. But that one by itself, it was a hollow point too. And so what happened where it went in there, it bubbled up in the back, it just blew it all, giant hole like that.
But see, here's the thing with this conversation, man. It makes you appreciate that profession even more, okay? Because we know once a person dies, some people die suicide, however they die. At the end of the day, Wade and people like Wade will present the body, the vessel, to a point where it's normalized, and so that everybody can say their last goodbyes, and that's the thing that's so, I'll say, great about that profession, all right? Because when someone dies, in our heads, like, look at them, wow, ugh.
Yeah.
But when we get to the funeral home, it's a completely different story. They are dressed up, they're and it looks like they're asleep.
Yeah.
And that's hey, I commend you for that, man, because you are providing a service. You're providing a service that's for that time of bereavement. The families are feeling at least a little bit better. Of course, you've lost your loved one, okay, but look at how you're going out, So I applaud you on that, man. If you were to teach someone or to tell someone, just somebody say, hey, man, look, I want to be a mortician. What do I need to do? Give me an abridged step by step.
I would say the first thing is do your own research first. And then go volunteer at a funeral home. But do your own research first. And I only say that because, find out what you need to know, show interest, take initiative. Don't wait on somebody to open up the door to you. Take initiative, learn what you can, and then go volunteer at a funeral home and then learn. And then once you learn to see if that's something that you do, enroll and go to school and, focus and get your license. It's not a very easy, because I'm telling you, a lot of people go to school to be a funeral director, and some people get their license and then say, you know what, I can't handle it. And then some people get their license and do it part-time. Some people do it full-time. But it's up to you. But like I said, most of the people who do it, they do it because they believe it's a good profession and they are able to help people, And like I said, if it's in your heart to do it, go for it.
So have you ever had a situation where, that say you know that the person that you're working on is not able to have an open casket, and they insisting on having one. They want you to do way up and above more than what you can do.
Well, they're gonna look like
If
the
you had
Joker.
that situation, you have to tell them nope.
Well, so I never really ran into that too much. Now there was one time where I picked up a young man that drowned in the river, and they asked me to open up to see if he was viewable, and he was in there quite a while, but he was viewable. Now I don't know what they did after that, but I guess they made it work. It just depends. But like you said, to your point, there are times where sometimes it's just not much you can do, especially like if you find somebody in the house that's been there for days, right? And the body decomposes, it's not too much you can do with that.
Man.
Hey, what's going on, Steve? Byron said Wade is in the business where people are literally dying to get in.
Yeah.
What's going on, Steve? Steve, we're talking with Wade. Wade, this is a new family member here. Well, he's old family member, but new to the show. Steve.
How you doing, Wade?
Nice to meet you, my brother.
Nice to meet you too, man. I wanted to get on here and hear you speak.
Oh man, I appreciate it, man. We got to connect. Look, all y'all family. Like I said, I was thinking about Greg and Gina and everybody, and I'm like, you know what, I gotta catch up, because again, with me working in the funeral business, right? Like, we just lost one of our dear sisters, Sister Rita from my church, and I attended her service Saturday, and I just got a chance to see everybody, and it's like, unfortunately, like, you think about the past and all the people and then somebody transitioned and everybody come out. So I try to do a better job just keeping up with people as I think about them.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man. I'm glad you did reach out. Go ahead, Steve.
And see, honestly, with you being going into the funeral business, I really want to hear and be on here with you, because I actually have a cousin in the same business.
Okay.
I have a cousin and she's a mortician.
Okay. What state is she in?
Indiana.
Okay.
She's a mortician in Gary.
Okay.
So that's why I just really wanted to be on here, because she went straight from school to being to college to being in the funeral business.
I know my sister Tay Lynn, she's in Indiana. I think she's in Gary.
Okay.
Yeah, but I know a few people out that way. I had thought about getting licensed in Indiana too, but I'm like, you know what? Because I did Illinois, Colorado. They just started a process of licensing people there, because at first you didn't need one there, but now you do. So I'm moving
there.
I'm in the process of getting licensed in Colorado too. So I got pretty much doing Illinois, Colorado, and California, and I might do one other state. I ain't doing no more states out of there, because there's too many licenses to have to renew.
Hey, I tell you this though, I ain't being funny, but having California and Illinois is two good ones, because they be gang banging. So
yeah, but we hoping for better in our communities.
We hoping for better, but we go into the business because we know it's plentiful though.
Mm.
And that's a good thing for the business.
Think about it, like I told him earlier.
Life, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead, Mo. I'm sorry.
I told him earlier, Steve. I said, you ain't got to worry about the business. You never got to worry about the business. It's always gonna have to be some business.
Right, it's always gonna be some business. I mean, we do truly hope for better.
Yeah,
and even if that stop, we still gonna have business, because people still die every day.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody don't die because of something bad.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true. But and that's why when that time comes, we want to make sure that we do see these people off the proper way.
Proper way, and that's why I'm glad here. That was my next vision and thought, because we do want to see them put together the proper way, going from here to there.
Yeah, and I gotta say, like, you were gonna say something?
No, I was just going to ask a question real quick. The difference between, say, the black mortuaries and the white mortuaries. I mean, what's the biggest difference? Would you say that we know?
Oh, I can tell you that.
People, they know what they do.
He can tell. Well, put it like this. I put it like this. I've noticed that in some cultures, in our community, sometimes it takes a little while to have a service. But
Of course.
some of the other communities, sometimes the service may be 3 days later. Maybe some people do it right away. Some people do it
24 hours.
immediately. So
The Jewish people.
so it's like sometimes every community is a little different. Sometimes it's just the way it is. As Tupac said, right?
Oh, it's the same thing as going into a Baptist church and going into a Catholic church. Okay, it's the same thing.
Oh, dang!
But
when church is over
Yeah.
in the Catholic church. But
Black church.
That point,
not in the black church. We could be there afternoon.
But you know what? You see a whole lot of stuff because I know, like, even in our culture right now, I think a lot of people have been more so moving like some people have kind of moved away from like traditional funeral services. And what I mean was like, I've been seeing more of like, cause like in our services, they got the preacher and things like that. But I seen a family run the preacher out the chapel one time. They're like, we don't want no preacher. They didn't want none of that.
You was in Illinois, wasn't you?
I'm sure, Wade, you got a gang of stories.
Oh man, I bet you got some stories. Yeah.
Hey, let's be real. Come on.
But
I mean,
and my cousin was in the business in Gary. His last name Fitzpatrick.
Okay.
Yeah, so he was in the business for a minute, and of course, till he went on. So.
Yeah, I mean, you see a lot, but I remember some years ago when I was working at the funeral home full time. I remember it was 3 services in a row we had. They all did something different. They didn't have like, it was like no traditional church service. It was like they had blues bands. They actually had live blues band. They were playing, and it actually sounded pretty. It was different, So
they were jamming. They sound like they were jamming.
I put it like this.
That's where he wanted to go out.
I think that you honor people the way that they want to go out.
That's what I was saying at the beginning of the show. Yeah. Can you pose somebody up like this?
If that's what they wanted.
Pose them up.
I mean, ain't that how Coming to America 2 was?
Yeah.
Come on, dude. Dude was ready. Already.
But they had John Lennon in the panel case. And he fell off.
But wait, for real though, man, it's a great thing. It's a wonderful thing that people like yourself are, again, providing us a service that we are going to make sure that at the end of the day, when that time comes, we're already grieving, but you guys make the grieving a little bit easier, man. So I appreciate what you do. And again, man, you family, bro. We appreciate you coming through. And when I got the message, I was like, I was asleep, actually. All right. But I woke up and I'm like, Wade Simmons. Oh, hell no. That's my guy. We ain't talked to this guy since show number 200 something. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. And I'm like, no.
Back when I first got on.
Exactly.
You know what we should do next time, God willing, I come on. I'm gonna bring some other mortician buddies with me. And,
do that.
That way you could get some, aspects from different perspectives. Because again, it's like it's a great business to be in, and I'm not gonna lie, to be honest with you, it's nice to meet people. Yeah. Sometimes it's not the best time, but it's like, I like to see people smile. I like to to see people happy and see people coming together, and I feel like that's the one thing that kind of makes, being in the funeral business kind of relatable to being an artist, right? Is that with art, you also bring people together, right. And as a filmmaker, right, every story has a beginning, middle, and end. And so with life, it's a beginning. We all living in the middle now, and one day it's gonna be the end. So it's just, it's just one of those things where like you just take life one day at a time, trust God, and just love people and just treat people right, because you never know.
You never know. Can you say that again?
You never know.
Dude, I put a post out the other day. I put a post out the other day talking about just that. Like when you're on your tombstone, they got your whole life is on that tombstone afterwards. They got the date that you were born, they got the date that you died, and in the middle they got that little dash. Okay, and that little dash is your whole life. That's everything that you've done. Okay,
what? I remember we did a service for this one family. I'll never forget. And I think something like this happened in my family before I was born. But we did a service for a family one day. When the family got to the funeral home, they were there getting ready to bury and have a celebration of life for one of their loved ones. And they got the call that one of their other loved ones had just died.
Dang.
And so so like in my family before I was born, this was like my great grandmother. She passed, and then her daughter passed, or one of them. So they had their funeral together. But that was way before I was born. But it's something, man. So you just never know.
My aunt same way.
I think what we need to do, Greg, what we need to do is do a show with our tree and them on here, and him and a few of his buddies. More morticians on there, so they can hook up that deal in our community. So they can,
Oh yeah, with the life insurance,
definitely.
And so it's a direct connection, and you ain't got to worry about it because you're part of Dope Living. And so whenever somebody needs to be hooked up, they're already covered. A tree is taking care of them, you taking care of them, and wherever they at in the country, they get took care of. They get flown from anywhere in the country to where they need to be.
And Mo, if they don't like the show, what do they have to do?
If you don't like the show, get your own damn show.
Man, come on, man. Come on, Wade, man. I appreciate you coming through, hanging out with us, bro. It's always a pleasure to talk to you, man. We get a good feeling when we talk to you, bro, because you're so energetic and you're always smiling, man, and you give us great messages. So appreciate you for coming through, bro. Steve, what you got, man?
Man, it was just an honor to be here again. Hey, I wanted to be here to hear Wade speak. Hey, everybody, make sure you got insurance. Make sure you covered, because when that time comes, it's a time when none of us know when it's coming.
Mm-hmm.
So if you wait till tomorrow or the day after tomorrow and it happened yesterday, it ain't no good for you.
Too late. It's too late.
Not promised to you. Not promised tomorrow.
Ain't promised.
My dad used to say it all the time. You're not promised anything. The only thing guaranteed in this life is life and death.
Yeah,
that's true.
That's it. Guaranteed. What you do in between that, that's on you.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's nice to talk, especially a younger brother. They just say, hey, look, I can check out all these directions, and kind of fill in your way, and you let God, the thing that gets me the most, you let God push you where you need to go.
Yeah.
You ain't motivated by the cash, because it's gonna come, and it's gonna come because He put you there to be successful. Keep doing what you're doing, Wade. Greg, we really need to get that show together, get out.
I see you,
Martha on here, and get you back on here, Wade, with a few of your buddies, so y'all can get this conglomerate going, so we can push it.
Yeah.
And I connect you with my cousin. Like I say, she a mortician in Gary.
Okay.
I think, Greg, you know her, don't you? She's at Guyan Allen. Her name Takia Addison.
Okay.
I don't know. Oh, I think I do. She probably did my father's.
She's the pretty one with no hair.
Yeah, I think I know. Yeah.
With the smooth baby's head.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to look. Our life is all about connecting,
Connection.
I got to keep up with you too, my brother. Because like I said, I try to. Whenever I think about people, I'm one of the people that I'm gonna reach out, because it's. So I'm gonna tell you one regret that I have is I never forget this. When I got out of high school, this was, man, that was a while ago. But I had a good buddy of mine named Rolando, and he was a friend of mine from high school. He was a little younger than me, but I know one day I thought I seen him, and something on my heart was like, you should go speak to him, and I didn't. And then I found out he ended up getting killed. So that really messed me up. Really messed me up.
Yeah, I feel you. Okay, Gene, you got something to say? Okay, hey, but let me tell you this, man. You are a unique individual, Wade, okay? And your uniqueness and your aura, your whole demeanor, man, spreads, all right? And for you to be doing what you're doing and bringing that persona to the table as well, there's nothing but success for you, bro, for real, because you're a complete individual. And, I'm proud of everything that you're doing, bro, for real. I'm very proud of you, because you don't stay saddled in one thing. You see an opportunity and you take it, all right? And the other part about that is, as Mo brought to the table, you let God guide your way. A lot of people don't do that. A lot of people just go out there willy-nilly, okay? But you let God guide your way.
Yeah,
when everybody else is telling you to go left and God tell you to go right, you like, okay, well, look, I'm gonna go this way and I'm gonna see y'all later. All right.
You know what's funny? I'll share this testimony with y'all. When I went to mortuary school first. I went in 2016. I came out of mortuary school in 2018. Right when I came out, we had like these exit exams because they like before you can even take the national boards, you had to take an exit exam. So I was struggling to pass, and I'm like, well, if I don't pass this, I better find something to do. So I was praying, and and God led me to go to film school. And I went, and I remember the owner of the film saying, why would you go to some other school when you ain't even finished this up yet? But right when I went to film school, right, I passed the funeral director part of the test.
Wow.
Then after I graduated film school, I had a dream.
Man.
I finally passed the embalming side. And I woke up and I prayed. I said, well, you know what, Lord, I'm going to trust you. And I went out there, I took the test and I passed it.
Got all the answers. All the answers in your dream.
Look. He said in all our ways, acknowledge him, and he would direct our path. So
acknowledge him.
I hold on to that.
I hear you, man. High five me on that, Gina. Thank you. All right. But anyway, man, Wade, it's a pleasure, man. Again, seeing you, man, after all this time, bro. We ain't gonna let this time go by this long next time, all right?
No, not next time. No, I guess.
We're gonna hook up because Wade we used to talk almost all the time. We used to mess each other all the time, okay? But
well, we need, like I said, we need to hook it up because we.
But you know what? But that's how it shows that people mean so. Because one day I just up and thought about it. I said, wait a minute. What's Greg? I ain't seen Greg in a minute.
Exactly.
So see, like I say, everybody that God put in my path, I'm not one of them people that I just meet somebody just one and done. Like, no, I care about everybody that He put in my life, and so
that's what I do right here sitting here, man. That's what I do right here sitting here, man. Okay, I hadn't seen this cat in a minute. And when I was having the success with my music video show, this guy was always there for me, man. Whenever I came back to town and was this guy right there, man, was there. Okay. And when I saw him come on, I was like, it's done. It's done. You gotta have it. It's done. All right. So
this is what's so crazy. Me and Greg started out mopping floors at the mall.
You know.
Wow.
And that was almost 50 years ago.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I am not ashamed. We
knew each other in high school too. So it's been more than 50 years.
Yeah, means to an end, man. And it's supposed to be that way. And the paths cross, and somewhere down the line, if God permits, we get back together, and it's even stronger. It's even better. Right?
Yeah.
That's what
you know what's funny? I'm gonna share this with y'all. It was two guys at the funeral home, right? They older now. I think they might be in their late, maybe early 60s. And back in the day, they were both messing with the same woman. and they told the story about.
They didn't show up to the funeral.
Back in the day, how like he was saying one of the guys when he walked in this girl's house, he was like, he was happy he had to know with the bed, he would go hit him with it. But now they the best friends. They like, so it's like you never like that. That's why I always say, like, to be honest with you, I just love people because you never know who you're gonna end up working with in life. You never know who's gonna be your best friend in life or somebody that can help you. So it's just good not to burn. I'm glad he didn't hit him with that bat.
Right. Not to burn bridges.
That's right. That's right. On that note, man, hey, Wade, thank you for coming through, man, hanging out with us. All right, we will see you again real soon.
And like I said, we ain't gonna not connect like that. Stay in touch.
No, we definitely need to.
I gotta get Steven's information too. I want to keep up with everybody.
I love
you all, and it's always a pleasure to be on.
Love you too, bro.
Back, man. Love back, man. It's Dope Living TV Live, man. We'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, peace.
Peace.